Well, after months of fighting to get on ballots around the country, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is now racing to remove his name in swing states. Now, voting in North Carolina is delayed over all of these legal fights. Absentee ballots, which were set to go out on Friday, are on hold after a court ordered his name off of the ballot. The state election board is appealing to the Supreme Court, calling it, quote, chaos. Let's bring in James Golden, also known as Bo Snerdley, radio host at WABC Radio, an author who says there are more twists and turns in this election cycle than in any of our lifetime. Bo, good morning to you. It's good to be back with you.
Good
How have
morning.
you been?
I've been great. Welcome back, Markie.
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. You and I have talked a lot about this over the past year. I mean, how did we reach this point of RFK Jr. doing a complete 180 on the issue?
Well, he had promised his supporters that he would not be a spoiler, and that's what's behind his move right now. After he made an analysis and he decided to support Donald Trump, he looked at the states in the swing states where his polling indicated he could actually sway the election one way or another. He didn't want to do that. So he says, okay, take my name off. I am not running. I suspended my campaign. Now, it's so funny also that the very Democrats that ruthlessly tried to force him off ballots, didn't want him on the ballots, are now fighting to keep him on those ballots because they think he might be the deciding factor for Kamala Harris. And since it's no longer Joe Biden, they're not as concerned about RFK being a spoiler. So again, the twists, the turns in this election cycle, we have never seen anything like this in American politics. In a way, it's sort of amusing, but of course, it's very high stakes and very dangerous, depending on what outlook you take if you are supporting Trump or Harris.
Yeah.
So this is a high stakes move. I wonder whether the court will just throw this back to the states. The Supreme Court say, no, we're not interested in this. They have been really keen on not wanting to be involved in presidential elections as much as possible.
Take me into the minds of Republicans right now, Bo. I mean, do you think they're starting to panic about RFK potentially stealing votes from Trump, or what's their thinking right now?
I don't sense that there's panic. I think that there's a lot of anxiety because the polls are showing the election is so close. But again, and I would caution people not to, on the Republican side, not to get into a panic mode at all. Look, even if you have Kamala Harris up in national polls by 3-4 points, that doesn't indicate that she's going to win the election. Trump historically underperforms in polls. Secondly, as you mentioned, these are the battleground states are going to be the ones that decide it. So we could be looking at another situation where one candidate has the popular vote but doesn't win the electoral vote. There isn't a need to panic. What there is a need to do, if I'm Republicans, is to get out the vote. That's going to be the most important thing that they can do, especially in those 7 battleground states.
Well, I've grown tired of using the word unprecedented, Bo, in this time, but I don't know what other word to use. It's just an unparalleled election season. Bo Snerdley, thanks so much for joining me this morning from somewhere way more exotic than my Chicago this morning. I'm jealous.
Thank you, Markie.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.